All right. You are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium for today. The 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants will be taking on the 0-16 Arizona Cardinals. And why are the Arizona Cardinals 0-16? Because they suck. They blew a 21-point lead today because they suck. The Cardinals suck. Never gets old, guys. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all? Spend a little bit of time with me here this evening. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away. Throw it in the chat box. You should try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. As soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away, throw in the chat box. Plus, also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes or whatever, it's just nice to talk to just another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away with your comments. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon, second one's called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to them, so if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me, and I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you're subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or I put a video out, you'll be notified, and it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And then finally, in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links. The top one takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants Gridiron. It's a group. Basically, I say this in all my videos. Basically, my YouTube channel, my Facebook group, my Facebook page, which I'll go over in just a minute. It's all called the same thing. It's all called the New York Giants Gridiron. That way it dumbs it down for a moron like me. I don't got what's my YouTube channel called, what's the Facebook group called, it's all called the same thing. Makes it nice and easy for me. And we're over 6,200 members in the group, New York Giants Gridiron, the group. Basically, once I get done going live here, right, I'll spend the next couple hours just putting stuff in the group and in the page, right? I try to get 15, 20 things every day in there. Now that the season is upon us, we're already at the second week of the season already. And before you know it, another 4 days, we'll be at the third week of the season already. Holy cow, right? It's really easy. There's a ton of stuff out there that gets to put in there. So whether it's a picture, a post, I share an article, maybe it's a video, maybe I'm just showing some stats on a ball player, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, which are my personal favorites, right? Every day there's a boatload of stuff going in there every day. And if you become a member, not only do I put stuff in there, but the members post stuff in here as well, too. So between me and the members, it's unbelievable amount of stuff gets put in there every day. And basically, it's darn near almost 365. If I'm alive and breathing, if I have internet access, there's stuff going in the group every day. And then the second Facebook links take you to my Facebook page. I'm the administrator in there, so I'm the only one to post anything in there, but it's the same thing. Basically, it's the same thing. After I get done going live, I put stuff in the group and I put stuff in the page as well. So as I said, the same things. I try to get 15, 20 things in the page every day, whether it's a post, a picture, a video, an article, something showing some stats on a ball player. Once again, something making fun of the Eagles or the Cowboys, right? Which are my personal favorites. Every day, stuff going in there. And I don't commingle with stuff. So basically, right, whatever I put in the page, I don't put in the group. Whatever I put in the group, I don't put in the page. I don't mix them up. So I just keep them, I keep them separate. So, if you go to the page, you like it and you follow it, and you go to the group and become a member, basically almost 365. There's hardly a day that goes by I'm not putting stuff in there. There's a boatload stuff every day going in the page and in the group, but it can't please everybody, so I got my money back. If you go to the page, you like it, and you follow it, and you go to the group and you become a member, if you're not 100% satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All right, all that stuff said and done, out of the way with. Woo! Huh? Whew. I'll tell you what, boy. At halftime, I was almost on my knees praying to sweet dear baby Jesus. You know, I mean, I don't even know. I was like, just speechless. We were making them look like the greatest show on turf, and I kind of wondered, could we stop the run? I mean, Joshua Dobbs, we're looking at him, making him look like Joe Montana out there, and it's like, what the heck is going? It was 10-1 first downs after the first quarter. I'm like, what the is going on? And I think at halftime, I think they had 16 first downs. We had 5. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? Connor's running all. Can we stop them? Can we stop anybody? Anything? I mean, what the is going on? I mean, holy God, man, I was just like, man, please just don't let us get shut out again. I would lose 85-0. I'm sorry, 85. Let's give us at least a safety. Sweet dear baby Jesus. 85-2, I can hack. 85-0, not another shutout, please. Please, sweet dear baby Jesus. I mean, but I'll tell you, whatever happened, in the second half, they really turned it on, at least. And then finally, the defense actually stepped up because, what was it? I think they scored, I think it was like 6 in a row. I think there was, because the first one, they missed the field goal, the Cardinals. And, of course, that was the ball that just bounced off of Ertz's hands there. Now, I don't know if he would have been able to hold on to that one. They kept saying that, Ertz was down there, could have held on, might have been a score or whatever. I mean, but he got rocked pretty good. So I don't know if he would have held on to that. But anyway, then they missed the field goal. But then they scored on their next 5 possessions. I mean, I think it was the next 4 or 5 possessions, maybe 5. Let me see here. So I got here. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. There we go. All right, so let's go to play-by-play. I thought they said it was like, let's see where we got here. All right, let's see. Cardinals got a touchdown. Oh, all right, the Cardinals missed the field goal. Then they got a touchdown. Then they got a touchdown. They got a field goal. Then they got a field goal. Then it was halftime. Okay, so they had the 5 possessions. So then they came out in the second half, scored another touchdown. So basically, their first 6 possessions, the Cardinals, we didn't stop them. They missed the field goal. He just missed, whatever, a yard. But it was a long field goal. It is what it is. But then finally, I mean, finally, we got him to punt. We got him to punt. Then it was the end of the game. So thankfully, the defense started stepping up a little bit. But obviously, we got some. We got some. Of course, I'm not telling nobody nothing. Obviously, we got some issues. I mean, where is the pass rush? I mean, holy cow! This is game number 2. Wait, here we go. Let's see. Well, we didn't get a sack. It's the second game in a row. We have no sacks. Let's see how many. Excuse me. We got quarterback hits. We had 6. So in 2 games, we have no sacks. We have 9 quarterback hits. We have pick number 5 in the draft on there. We have Sexy Dexy, who's getting paid. And I get it. I understand it all. But I mean, between Sexy Dexy and Leo the Lion this year, Leo was getting paid $32 million, and Sexy Dexy's averaging around 23. It's like $55 million a year between those 2 guys. And then we got Kayvon, and of course, then we got Azeez. And of course, he didn't play today. Shocking. But we have no sacks, not one effing sack in both games. They said we have 9 quarterback hits. I mean, We did actually have 7 tackles for loss, so that was good. We had 2 passes defensed. But I mean, my God. I mean, jeez. And I know, and Connor came into the game with had some calf issue with his calf. But I mean, he looked pretty good there. 23 carries, 106 yards, wound up with 4.6 yards a carry. I mean, geez. I mean, Joshua Dobbs. I tell you what, this is pretty freaking weird. But Dobbs has almost the identical passing record in both. I think if I remember correctly, I think last week he was 21 of 30. This week he was 21 of 31. But this week he had 228 yards. So, I mean, they got a lot more yards this week than they did last week. I mean, they had almost 400 yards. Like 380 yards of offense they had. That's because the first, 6 possessions, they just kept walking up and down the field. But finally, we were able to stop them, the last few possessions, thankfully. But once again, every game is different. Every game is different. But let's see here. On defense here, I'll tell you what, Jason Pinnock, right? 13 tackles. Very nice. 3 tackles for loss. Very nice. Bobby Okereke had 8 tackles. Xavier McKinney had 7. Adoree Jackson with 5. Micah Parsons with 5. With 4. Sexy Dexy had 4. Ishan Robinson had 3. Isaiah Simmons had 2. Hottie had 1. A bunch of guys had 1. Even Daniel Jones had 1 on that interception. Yeah. Well, I mean, somebody had to stop him. But I mean, of course, that's a shame because that's going to get counted against him. The ball, went right through Saquon's hands, and interception. So, but thankfully we cleaned some stuff up and all. Now, of course, now we have the short week, and of course, the 49ers are. Now they're 2-0. They beat the Rams in LA 30-23. They got a nice little rivalry going on. The Rams had a couple turnovers that really cost them in that game. But I mean, once again, I'm not saying the Giants are going to do this. Certainly not saying that. But this Thursday will be the 49ers' first home game because they beat the Steelers and then they beat the Rams both on the road. Now they're coming home. This will be their first home game. So, but the Rams put up some yardage. They put up 386 yards against and he get 28 first downs. What cost them was the interceptions. That's what really cost them. They were, of course, you don't want to throw the ball 55 times, but they were 34 out of 55. But see, what the thing was with the 49ers, they're very, very efficient, right? They only passed the ball 25 times. But Purdy was 17 out of 25. No interceptions. He only got sacked 1 time. He had 206 yards passing. But they ran the ball 28 times for 159 yards. They're very, very efficient. Very efficient. They had no turnovers. So I mean, it's going to be a very difficult, win for the Giants here. But what I was saying in my video last night about the Giants was that, if you come out 1-2, it's not the end of the world. It's a tough road to go here for the Giants. Very difficult. Because obviously they got the 49ers, they got the Seahawks. The Seahawks put up some points today against the Lions. That was some good games. Really some good games early on. A couple overtime games, some very, very entertaining games. Let me tell you what. Today, and obviously the Giants and the Cardinals were no different. But I mean, the Giants, it's going to be very difficult for the Giants, against the 49ers. But hey, that's why you play the game. Very impressed with. I'll get whatever the scores are, and this for what shall I say, the grades for McKeithen and Zudo. I'm not sure, if they aced that, their pass blocking, but they did a decent job. I mean, Daniel Jones, he did enough. I mean, obviously he got sacked. Let's see here. What did they sack the quarterback? They sacked him 3 times, hit him 5 times. He took off and ran a couple of times, that he took off was, he needed to. But good old Danny Dimes did a very, very good job. Now, of course, we have to also wind up waiting and seeing about with Saquon. I mean, apparently it looked like he dodged a bullet from what I was seeing, maybe in the some articles online and some tweets I saw. Looked like they might have dodged a bullet. Maybe it was just a sprain because unfortunately he went in there and he wound up getting rolled up on. But thankfully, hopefully, knock on wood, right? Nothing torn, broken, ripped, or nothing like that. Hopefully it's just a sprain. Now, you don't know if he's going to be able to play Thursday night, but we'll wait and see. If we're lucky, maybe we'll get Andrew Thomas back maybe for Thursday. Hopefully we might get Wan'Dale Robinson back for Thursday. So maybe we might get a couple of guys back. No, and then we'll also have to wind up seeing now, of course, with Ben Bredeson. Because Glowinski got benched. So that's nice to see. Being proactive, trying to do something. I mean, there's only so much that we could do because we only have so many offensive linemen. You just can't just bench everybody. We'll call everybody up from the practice squad and we'll bring in Justin Pugh and Lael Collins. We'll just just throw them out there. And now we're going to the Super Bowl. So you only have so many options. But it's nice to see that at least he did something and he benched Glowinski because he was, absolutely horrible. But of course he had to come in when Bredeson went out. That looked like, when on the, obviously when you saw it on TV, they were talking about maybe he got bent back or something like that. But if you look at it, he got like rolled up or whatever. But he was standing up and somebody came in and accidentally, of course, there was nothing malicious. But came in. If you look like, I think Bredeson was standing up. It looked like he was leaning forward a little bit or something like that. And somebody, I think it was a Cardinal, came in and their helmet smashed up against his helmet. So you could see him. He was I think leaning forward a little bit, and all of a sudden his head snaps back. His helmet, he got hit with another helmet, obviously, and his head snaps back. Then he got up and then he went down, and that's the reason why he went down was because he got dazed. He didn't know where he was at. And that's why he got helped off the field. Hopefully it wasn't none of the lower extremities, but it looked like he got dinged. So obviously he's in the concussion, and obviously you don't know if he'll, if he has a concussion, he won't be playing Thursday. So we'll have to wait and see. Be interesting to see. Okay. Very interesting to see. Now, if Andrew Thomas comes back, we got Evan Neal, we got Michael Schmitz. If Andrew Thomas comes back, what do we do with the two guards? Right? McKeithen was playing okay. Of course, the 49ers are a different animal without question. But do we put Azudu at one guard and McKeithen at the other guard? Right? I'm certainly not saying the guys were Hall of Famers out there tonight. There were some issues. Obviously, I haven't looked at the tape and and broken down every play and all this stuff and everything. But you could see there's still some issues out, of course, and there always will be. But they did a decent job, and they certainly did a good enough job for us to come back and score 31 points in the second half. So you got to give them a lot of credit. They fought their way, and this was a good game. If you're going to put McKeithen out there and Azudu out there to start their first ever game, this wasn't a bad one. Of course, you might rather have it at home or whatever, but against the Cardinals, not a bad. If you put Azudu and McKeithen out there last week, against the Cowboys, it could have even been worse than what it was, the 40-0 with all those sacks and everything. But this was very good. Are they the guards or whatever of the future? Who knows? But it's certainly worth trying. But this is one of those things. This is why they, and I remember Patty Trainer. She always she complains, and I understand it. But she wants, she's been talking up going into the season, can we decide, please, on our starting 5 offensive? Can we please start? Why are we putting guys in here, and why are we not setting on our 5 guys and just rolling with them? Why can't we get some synchronicity going? Get the 5 guys there and just start playing with these same 5 guys. And it's like, because the reason why you don't is because people get injured, and you want to try people at different positions. Yeah. She always she has like a heart attack, because she's like, why can't we put the same 5 guys in there? She's like, it's like at training camp, she's like looking at the guys on the offensive line, and she'll see Azudu in there instead of Bredesen. And she's like, why aren't we putting, hello? Because things happen. You got to put guys at different positions. It's not like, okay, well, we're just going to put the same guy, because when Bredesen gets a concussion and he comes out of the game, we never had anybody else in there left guard. I guess we're screwed. No. That's why you keep putting different guys in there, so everybody gets some chances, some reps at all different positions. That's why. It's like Boy Scouts, be prepared, right? So we'll have to wait and see what goes on with Bredesen. Obviously, if it's just a concussion, the thing is with concussions is that I got to ride the fence on this one. Yeah, in one respect, it's okay. It's only a concussion. Okay, so it may be a couple of weeks. Okay, instead of, because when it looked like he might have got rolled up on or something, like he might have high ankle sprain or really sprained his ankle, or maybe something happened to his knee, and you're like, oh my God, maybe he's out a couple months or something like that. You know what I mean? So thankfully, it's only a concussion. So thankfully, it's only, it might be a couple weeks, maybe a week or 2. But, but you're also talking about this up here. And you don't want, you start messing with that. That's bad. That's real bad. So hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully he doesn't get another concussion ever. Right. I'm sure that we'll have to wait and see what goes on with the injury report. But hopefully there was quite a few guys who were out, who did not go in there. So hopefully, we won this one, and hopefully we'll start getting maybe some of those guys back maybe for Thursday night, because we can use all hands on deck. I'm not sure if the 49ers were banged up at all. They got banged up or whatever it was. I don't know for the Sunday night football. I'm sorry, my bad. Apologize. Thursday night football. But it's going to be a tough game. Tough game. The Giants, basically, however you look at it, they got a bunch of tough. Even the Seahawks look good against. It's week by week. The Seahawks, the first week at home, didn't look very good against the Rams. Then this past week here, their defense gave up some yards and some points to the Lions, but their offense didn't look too bad. They got obviously Jigba, they got Lockett, they got Metcalf. That's going to be tough for the Giants. That's going to be very, very tough for the Giants, without question. So the Giants' next home game is going to be tough. The Giants, a bunch of tough games. This was also the reason why the Giants their squad can maybe be better than it was last year, but they may not have a better record than last year. Look, the Eagles are 2-0. They could have lost that one if Jefferson held onto the ball. The Cowboys are 2-0. Commanders are 2-0. The Commanders went into Denver and beat the Broncos, right? So the Commanders are 2-0. Now the Commanders don't have they put up some points today, had over 30 points. I don't think they're gonna have the most potent offense, especially in the division, but their defense is very good. So the Giants are 1-1 and we're in last place. So you got 3 teams above us at 2-0. So this is going to be, really tough year for the Giants, period. And that's what a lot of people are also talking about. So, just being a tough year for the Giants. What do we got here? Let me see here. Yeah. The Giants at one point, they were, I said there was 10-1 in first downs after the first quarter. I'm like, oh my God. And I think it was 16-5 at halftime. But it wound up, the Giants actually wound up with 26 first downs to the 24 for the Cardinals. So at halftime, so the Giants wound up with 21 first downs in the second half. And the Cardinals had 8. So very, very, very impressive drive for the Giants, second half for the Giants. And I also saw Boomer Esiason put out a little. I think he tweeted it out, or X, or whatever you call it nowadays, whatever the moron Elon Musk decided to change Twitter to. I think he said Daniel Jones is the first Giants quarterback, I think ever, with 250 yards passing, 50 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. I think they said the first one ever, period. And he did it in one half. But he's the first Giant quarterback. I think what Boomer Esiason tweeted out was that he's the first one to do it ever, basically in a game, ever in a game for Giants. And he wound up doing all that in one half. And it says Boomer has since 2000, only one other quarterback has done that. And it was Michael Vick, to do that in one half. So, Daniel Jones can put up some impressive numbers. He also can, lay some stinkers too. Let's see here. Saquon, 17 carries, 63 yards. I mean, but the one thing is that you'll notice is that they keep giving him the ball, keep giving him the ball. He hit a bunch of, in the first half, things were not looking good at all, but you keep giving him the ball, keep giving him the ball, stick with it. And, he started some of the holes started opening them up for him, right? Hyatt had the 2 nice long receptions. Kind of the first one he caught in the beginning of the second half. I mean, he was way past this guy. It just Daniel Jones didn't lead him far enough. I mean, look, he was slowing down, right? He was running, man, he was past this guy by a few yards, wide open. Daniel Jones hit him, but he had to slow down. So he wound up getting caught. But if he hit him in stride, so it looks like Jalen Hyatt might be one of those guys you really have a hard time overthrowing, right? So next time he's open, just throw it as far as you possibly can and see if you can overthrow Jalen Hyatt. But because it looks like he had to slow down. But the rookie also went up and he got that other catch too. He went up high, the guy was on top of him. He went up high, pointed it, 2 hands on the ball, brought it down, landed on the ground, but held on to the ball, holding the ball out, right? Pounding his chest, number 13 and all that, or pounding his helmet, I think it was. So very, very good. We had some very explosive plays. Let's see here. Hold on. Where we at here? Box score, right? Box score. Usually what winds up happening is, I forgot what the percentage is, so please forgive me, but there's a huge percentage of, if you get a 20-plus yard play, is it a 20? I think it's a 20-yard play or more on a drive. Your chances of scoring a touchdown go up exponentially, just is so much more. And the Giants had some explosive plays on here. So let's see here. Jalen Hyatt had the 2. He had a 30-yarder. He had a 31-yarder and a 58-yarder. Darren Waller had a 25-yarder. Darius Slayton had a 29-yarder. So we had at least 4 explosive pass plays. That's good. That's what you want to see. I don't think we had any against the Cowboys. Not that I can remember. Maybe we had 1, but we had at least 4. So that's huge, because the Giants only had was it 20 or 30 or so last year? I mean, we were absolutely pathetic, but we opened it up, and that was huge. And obviously, you see, you get big plays on a drive, and your chances of scoring a touchdown go way up. Instead of trying to dink and dunk your way down the field, and take those deep shots and see if you can hit one of them. And the Giants did a really, really good job. Good old Jalen Hyatt just only had 2 catches, but they went for almost 90 yards. His yards per reception is 44.5. Now, did he catch any passes in the let's see here, what we got? Nope. targets. Let's see here. Rejected, receiving. Yeah, okay. All right, so he had one target against the Cowboys, but so far this season he has 2 catches for 89 yards. So he's averaging 44.5 yards of reception. So, right, big play guy. So, let's see here. What else we got here? What else we talk about? As I said, we got to get a pass rush. I mean, holy cow, we have to get a pass rush. I mean, where is Kayvon Thibodeau at? Where is he at? I mean, Sexy Dexy. Well, how many? I mean, he had a few, but I mean, where's Leonard Williams? I mean, man, we really need to do something with this defensive front. Really need to do something. Really need to do something with defensive front. Let's see, the Giants had 67 plays, 439 total yards. I think they only had, what did they have? I know they didn't even have 100 yards at halftime. So, I mean, they really came up balling big time. 26 out of 37. He had the one interception. Really wasn't his fault. 127 rushing yards, 27, ran the ball 27 times, 4.7, but a lot of that was Daniel Jones. But also, let's not forget, we didn't have our best blocker in there either. We had the ball for almost 30 minutes. But I tell you what a difference. I mean, we couldn't stop them to save our lives in the first half. And they just kept walking up and down the field, up and down the field, up and down the field. Then I got here, I seen the Giants 49ers, the opening odds. Giants are 10-point underdogs. Says there's only 2 teams in week 3 with larger spreads than the Giants. The Arizona Cardinals are a plus 12.5, and the Bears are plus 12.5. They're both 12.5-point underdogs. The Giants are 10-point underdogs. The over-under is set at 45. It says here, still there remains some reason for optimism. Giants prove their offense at least has the potential to be electric by putting up 31 points in the second half against the Cardinals. 49ers showed some vulnerability by allowing 23 points to the Rams, despite Matthew Stafford's accuracy issue and Cooper Kupp's absence. I mean, the 2 interceptions that Stafford had were costly, big time. It says, however possible, the 49ers defense is more like the juggernaut that held the Steelers to only 7 points. If that's the case, the Giants won't be able to wait until the second half for their offense to game plan to finally kick in. With Saquon Barkley suffering an apparent leg injury and his status uncertain as of Sunday night, things can get dire for the Giants. Oh, yeah. Said the Giants are heading into a brutal stretch of the season with 4 straight home games against 2022 playoff teams. 3 of those will come on the road. Barring an upset on Thursday, the Giants may have to get used to being the underdogs for the foreseeable future. Absolutely. Absolutely. For the foreseeable future. It was nice to see. It looked like, they viewed it on, looked like Dable looked like because, as usually he's talking in a microphone when they were calling a play. But apparently he was saying Kafka was calling the plays. I thought Dable was he has like a little sheet. It looked like he was calling plays from the sheet. Like he was calling plays, but he said, no, Mike Kafka was still calling the plays. So he said, but a lot of times he said he has open communication and all. So I thought Dable might have been calling the plays there. Right. Let's see. Let's go. I'm going to go over some of these. What do we got? What do we got here? Some of these drives here. There we go. Play by play. Here we go. Yeah, if the Cardinals right off the bat, right down the field. Going from their 25 to the Giants 37. I mean, it was just like it was so hard to is this the Cardinals? I mean, John didn't look too bad. Did not look too bad. Of course, then the Giants 3 plays, 8 yards, and then a punt. They had the ball for 1 minute and 20 seconds. The Zudu had a false start. Then, let's see here. Oh, then this one here, I don't know. This one, it is what it is. I was scratching my head. The first time they had the ball, they had 3rd and 2 at the Arizona 47. I didn't even think it was 2 yards. I thought it was more like 1, maybe a long one. I was just kind of wondering why they didn't run the ball there. Daniel Jones wound up throwing the ball. It was Slayton. But Slayton was on the sideline. He threw the ball high. I don't even know if Slayton even had a chance to catch it. I was just kind of wondering why on that one they didn't want him running the ball. Let's see. Then of course, then the Cardinals got the ball at their 14, and they basically walked right down the field. I mean, that was when McKinney had the 15-yard penalty, maybe a little late. Dobbs was sliding, and he wound up hitting him a little bit late. So Dobbs picked up 13 yards plus the 15-yard penalty. So on the first play, they got 28 yards. Then, of course, good old Zach Ertz, the giant killer, he got 1 for 9. And, of course, Connor up the middle for 7. Then they actually had an incomplete pass. And Connor up the middle for 3. Dobbs for 21 yards on reception. Giants had too many guys on the field. That gave him 5. And Connor up the middle for -1. But then Dobbs went hit. Let's see, short pass to Brown for 10 yards, and then Connor up the middle for 4 yards for a touch. Just basically almost walking right down the field. I'm like, where is the run defense here? Where is the freaking run defense? Then we had the ball for 5 plays, 19 yards. Then we punted. Then they had the ball for 7 plays, and they went 80 yards in 7 plays to go up 14-0. Dobbs a pass for 23 yards. Let's see. Then Dobbs for another pass to good old Ertz for 14 yards. He's his safety blanket, shall we say? Good old Ertz. And then he tried to complete another pass to Ertz. It was incomplete. But then Ingram went for 5 yards, and then 3rd and 5 at the 37. Dobbs pass short right for more. Let's see, pushed out at the Giants 23 for 14 yards. Let's see here. Then it was the end of the first quarter, and then Dobbs scrambled up the middle for 23 yards and a touchdown. Once again, let's see if we. Let's see, team stat. The run defense. 127. No, I'm sorry, 151 yards rushing. 5.2 yards a carry. Where is the effing run defense? Jeez. Whew. All right, then we got after that one. The 14 out. The Giants 3 plays -4 yards. Then we give the ball right back to the Cardinals, and they go 9 plays, 54 yards. At least we got to hold them to a field goal try. Thankfully, we stopped them. 3rd and 9 at the Giants 23. Dobbs short pass went on for 4 yards. Isaiah Simmons pushed the guy out of bounds, and then of course they kicked the field goal. Then it was the interception, which led to a field goal. So a turnover gave Barkley with the butterfingers, gave him a field goal, set him up in good field position. So it was 20-0 at halftime. I said, I don't know, what happened all of a sudden at the halftime. They came out 3 plays, 75 yards. Of course, you started right off with Hyatt going deep, stretching the field, right? 58 yards to Hyatt, down to the Arizona 17. Then one to Waller for 3 yards, and then Daniel Jones holding on, look, getting ready to maybe hand it off to Saquon, and then at the end, didn't keep containment. He started coming down the line of scrimmage. Oh, he's handing off to Saquon. Let me run in and tackle Saquon. Daniel Jones pulls it out, runs around the end, untouched into the end zone. 20-7. Of course, but then, what you do, I don't want to say any good team, but, but what a good team does, right? Not that the Cardinals are a horrible, horrible team, but they went out there, fought their rear ends off. That was a heck of a game they played, and that was a heck of a game they played in week 1 too. But what good teams do, right? They you get a touchdown. Well, we're going to get a touchdown, and that's what they did. They went 8 plays, 75 yards, right down the field, and I'm like, what? I mean, how are we supposed to come back at all? How it doesn't matter. We could score 1 million points, but what's the difference? Every time we score a touchdown, we're going to give up. When are we going to stop this? I mean, this is not the greatest show on turf. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, holy cow. They started drawing 25, and before you know it, they were down at our 3-yard line. Dobbs, short pass to Brown for 3 yards and a touchdown. And then Dobbs runs in the 2-point conversion to make it 28-7. It's like, well, then we get it, right? And then we go down the field and we score a nice 12-play, 75-yard drive. Great. Is that Saquon's run? Yeah, Saquon run for the 1 yard and for the touchdown, make it 28-14. Okay, cool. But the problem is that, we scored a touchdown. We gave up a touchdown. Now we just scored a touchdown. And we're going to give up another touchdown? Is it going to be 35-14? Then 35-21, then 42-21. I mean, when are we going to stop them? We need to stop these guys. Well, actually, we need to stop them multiple times because we have no foot, right? Multiple times. So finally, they went eight plays, and actually their final 3 drives combined, they only had 9 plays. So the defense started getting better and better, thank goodness. But we forced them to punt. Thankfully, they got to the 44. I mean, if they what was it? 3rd and 11 at the 44. Dobbs had an incomplete pass, deep right. He went deep right to Brown. Now on that one there, because they tried like a 55-yarder, which it was far enough, he just missed it by about 1 yard. So instead of at the 44, 3rd and 11, of course you want to get the first down, obviously. But if you go underneath, right, and hit him 5-yard pass or something like that, maybe the guy can pick up an extra yard or 2. He won't make the first down. But now you get down to the Giants, like say, 37. Maybe 36, and the guy comes out, maybe kicks a 54-yard field goal, tries another long one, maybe this time he makes it. But he went deep, incomplete, and it forced them to punt, which that was huge, absolutely huge. So, of course, then the Giants get it, 13 plays, 80 yards for a touchdown. Then we forced them, and then the defense really started coming on, right? Three plays, they lost a yard. 3 plays, -1 yard, and then they punted. And they only had the ball for 1:20. So they gave us the ball back with plenty of time. We had the ball, got the ball back. Let's see, when do we get the ball? It doesn't say. Oh, it's 7.5 minutes to go. We're down by a touchdown with 7.5 minutes to go. So we run 3 minutes off the clock. Go down, was it 6 plays? 1, 2, 3, 6 plays. 64 yards for touchdown. Thing of beauty. Daniel Jones scrambled for 15 yards. Then Daniel Jones deep pass to Hyatt right down to the 18 with a 31-yard completion. Let's see, Paris Campbell. He lost. Remember, he lost a yard. Then we hit Waller down to the 6 for 13 yards. There was 1st and goal. Daniel Jones scrambled for 6 yards. The touchdown was nullified. Penalty on Neal holding, and that was holding. Yeah, that was holding without question. Without question. I think he tackled the guy. He was taking the guy to the ground, and he still had his arms, I think, wrapped around him as they were going to the ground. So, well, he made sure nobody touched his quarterback. But yeah, Daniel Jones ran in. I'm like, what the heck? But then Barkley went, for 5 yards. And then Daniel Jones hit Isaiah Hodgins for 11 and a touchdown. So huge, absolutely huge to tie it up. We went for two, right? I think we went for two. We wanted to go for two. I know we wanted to go for two on the third touchdown. That's what it was. But here we just went to tie it up. I think. Timeout. I think. I know we wanted to go for two on one of them, but then we once again we held them. The Cardinals went 3 plays, -1 yard. They only ran a minute 54 off the clock. Then the Giants got the ball back with 2.5 minutes to go. Plenty of time just to go down the field and get in the field goal range, and that's what they did. Just dinking and dunking the way down the field, using up the clock, making the Cardinals use up their actually the 2-minute warning, making sure they used up their timeouts. So we were in control. Fantastic. Good old Graham Gano came through, just snuck it in the left upright, but he got it in there. And then, of course, we just held on for the win at the end of the game, which wound up fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But I said you got to give the Cardinals a lot of credit. They came, they put up a good fight. They were beating us 20-0. They were beating us 28-7. With the Giants. This was what was it? The biggest comeback since 1950. I remember because the Giants were losing to the Baltimore Colts, who were unbelievably horrible in 1950. They won one football game in 1950. The Giants were losing to the Cardinals, the Colts, 20-0. The Colts scored the first 20 points, and the Colts were horrible. Then the Giants scored the next 55 points and wound up winning 55-20. The Giants were a very good team in 1950. They went to the playoffs. There was a playoff match between them and the Browns to see who would go to the championship game. The Giants lost 8-3 to the Browns in the championship game. So they wound up, didn't make it to the. I'm sorry, they lost them 8-3 in the playoff game. The Seal went to the championship game, but so they fought, but they came back. Just really very, very impressive. But this saved their season. Absolutely, I really firmly believe saved their season, because if they lost here, certainly does not 100% guarantee that they were going to lose to the 49ers on Thursday night. But they were really staring 0-3 down, straight in the face, really. And if you go into the rest of their schedule going down 0-3, especially if the Commanders are 2-0, the Cowboys are 2-0, Eagles are 2-0, good luck. But thankfully they persevered and they came back and they wound up winning, because it's the way the media is and everybody. You certainly don't need starting off 0-2 and then quite possibly 0-3. So, but thankfully the Giants fought their way back. Thankfully, it was a very pleasing victory. And for right now, at least you can kind of hold your head up high, Giant fans. We're 1-1 but those darn 49ers, we got them in 4 days from now. So, but thankfully, that wraps it up for tonight. Whoever spent any time listening to me, thank you. Or if anybody spends any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.